morning, guys. Rick Shaw here on Wednesday the 10th of August 2022, and we do have a magnificent day. I think you can see in the background there, sun feels good. Get the kids out playing a little bit. We were out riding bikes yesterday. It was just fantastic day. We've got the chains all oiled up and got them going. Mine's having a little problem with the derailleur, so I got to get in there today and take a look. I'm gonna have to go online. I was never good at adjusting derailleurs. Every time I messed with them, it just made it worse. So I'll have to get online and do some reading before I mess with anything. And if it looks like I'm not gonna get it, I'll take it up to the bike guy up here. There's a pretty good bike guy close by, and they don't charge much. I mean, holy cow! Up here, they'll change your tire and put in a new tube on your motorcycle for 50 pesos. You know, it's just really stuff like that getting done is pretty cheap. But you know, watching this news late yesterday and this morning of what they did to the president, guys, that just is absolutely ridiculous. But I'll tell you what, it does open up a door so they can go look at the rest of these guys. I'd like to see some of this, anything Bush has. You know, if they got anything incriminating, all the way up on down the line, all the way through Obama and everything, you know. So it's to me, it's just absolutely ridiculous what they're doing. It's a witch hunt, in my opinion. Just from knowing what I know and reading the news, I've seen that, yeah, it's definitely a witch hunt. One nice thing I've been seeing on the Telegram channel is I'm seeing a lot of young people. I'm talking late teens, early 20s, speaking out about what's going on. So this, you know, these young kids, a lot of them aren't really dumb. I don't think the ones that are in the public schools and in the cities are getting it. I wish they would put where they're from like that on these little videos I've been catching. But most of them probably Midwest, farmers' daughters type stuff. And I think that's you know, you're getting your parents teaching the kids what's right and wrong. We don't need the schools to be teaching these kids. We don't need the schools to be giving jabs, any of that stuff. Telling kids they got to do this, that, or the other. That's just ridiculous, guys. That's not their job. Their job is reading, writing, and arithmetic. You know, so. But it's, you know, they're just running the show. You know, and then you look at the colleges here. My goodness, the crap that they're spewing at colleges. Come on. They spew a bunch of stuff. Morning. They spew a bunch of stuff to people. You know, it's like that guy from the University of Pennsylvania, the judge that, come on, that did this warrant. You know, he's one of their operatives. That was a Obama guy, and you know, he worked for Epstein and all this kind of stuff. Come on. It's just a long list of these people. They'll get somebody to do what they want and make a hit on this guy. And with all this stuff too, with the IRS, with the ammo, I did see a report that military guys took a bunch of guns, 100,000 firearms and all these rounds of ammunition and all that stuff. So hopefully that's the case. But you know, why are they arming these guys? See, they're after Trump, so to speak, but the big picture is they're after all of us, guys. You know, what does an IRS agent need a gun for? I mean, holy heck, most of their buildings, if you go in for an audit, and I've been on a few, you walk through a metal detector, you ain't getting anything in there. What do they need a gun for? You know, are they going to start coming to your house and raiding the place? Look at what the FBI did to a former president. And some say president still, but I don't know. But that's just insane. I think it's going to backfire on them, guys. Because this riled up, man, I can't believe some of the comments I'm getting. It riled up a lot of folks. And it just might backfire on them. This is just a pile of crap. You know, what they're doing to this country with these bills they just ram through, and you get people getting giddy. You know, like Schumer and Pelosi on this. They're just getting all giddy because they're picking your pockets even more. They're going to subjugate you until you can't do crap. You know. And then this Pelosi gets on there and does a speech, and this is from her own mouth, that China's the freest country in the world. Oh, yeah, that's what they want for us. That's exactly what they want. They want a Chinese-style rule here so they can just fleece everybody they can. That's all there is to it. So, but we're going to have a visit from our great friend Tropical Tim. We'll pick him up at the depot down here Friday. I'm looking forward to seeing him, and I think it's really nice he's coming all the way back here and he's going to spend some time with us. That's really fantastic. I'm glad he's making time for us guys. I really appreciate that. And then we're going to go after that. We're going to head on down to the tricycle. I'll bring the camera along with that. I don't know how the rains are going to be here. There's a big, looks like a tropical storm northeast of us, or northwest of us, sorry. And that's not looking too hot. We don't know what it's going to pull in, but we're going rain or shine. I want to get this tricycle done and bring it back up here so we can use it instead of using my buggy that the birds are turning on. But we love this car. It's a great car, and this will keep the miles down on it and the maintenance and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to definitely, when we get to Manduro, I'm going to put a concrete pad. I don't want it sitting in the grass. I've seen too many cars in the past. They'll park them and they'll sit them on the grass, and it just makes a terrarium underneath that car, and it just ruins them here. Fungus grows on things. I've seen fungus growing on metal here, guys. So one of those tips I want to give you, and this came from my buddy Onad, and just so you guys get it, and you may have not seen it in the other videos I've done about it, but if you're an expat and you come here and you bring leather stuff and it starts getting bad, don't try to clean it. I tried to clean stuff off with leather shoes, with Lysol, and I tried to clean blah blah blah. My wife washed them, couldn't do anything about it, and my buddy Onad said, put them out in the rain. And I'm not kidding you guys, it washed everything off. I dried them out and they were good to go again. So if you get any kind of this white dusty fungus all over your gear, just go ahead and put it out in the rain. I'm not kidding you. I was shocked. But that's local knowledge, guys. That's something you gotta really take to heed. These Filipinos, they're here. They're boots on the ground here. They know their stuff, and that was a really good tip that my buddy Onad. Thank you, Onad. So that's always good. But we got some shopping to do. We got to do tomorrow. Today, I don't know. We're probably just going to ride bikes and goof around. Looking forward. The kids are all excited about Tim coming. It's always nice when they visit us. It's just going to be Tim this time, I believe. But guys are out working today. You can see the house is really going. There's a new start. This one's going to be starting pretty quick. This one right here is going. This will be where you have to go all the way to the end of the block to get through. There's no getting through these places. If you see how close they put them together, it's like row houses. I had a brother that lived in Philly, and if you wanted to go to the alley in the back, you had to walk a quarter of a mile down the street to get through. That's just how they built them, and they do the same thing here. I hope it doesn't cut down on our breeze in our house when they get houses around us. I don't know what they're going to do in the back here. I haven't seen anything about them taking these down. I wish that one would go for sale. There's somebody who bought it already, but that would be nice to have. I would actually, what I would do is I would make close that off between them, and then make a way for us to get through and make that a garage and like my man cave, and clear up the front of here. Yesterday I had to get some things out. I had to get the compressor out to clean the fan. We bought a fan and it got gunked up. You get a lot of dust and stuff and it gunked up and wouldn't start. And I've seen people send them to fan guys and all that. None of that stuff. I just went in, took the compressor, blew all the gunk out of it as best I could, and I gave it a little shot of WD-40 and it freed it right up, and we're using it today. So that happens to the fans here. You got to clean them. And for me, when I had to get into my compressor, pulling crap out of the way. So much crap's in the way. We don't have the room for it. I'd love to have a man cave that I keep everybody out but me. I had one before. When I wanted something, it was easy to do a job. But here in this country, the houses are so small. I had in California a 2.5 car garage. I had it all set up. I had my ammunition and loading bench in one that I built some really nice stuff. I piped in plugs where I needed. Really good lights. I had T5 lighting, 2 lamp fixtures. I had 6 of those. Could turn them on individually. And I had a lot of light when I was working. I had like reflectors on the wall, everything painted white, so I could see what I'm doing. As we get older, I don't see as good as I used to. I'm more and more I'm putting the glasses on. It's just the way it goes. It's what happens to us here. But I'm going to do anything I do like that. Be careful of the tiles, guys. The tiles here turn into black ice when they get wet. You have to be real careful of that here in this country if you do a house here. Hey, fellas. So that's one of the main things you have to worry, because we get older, we take a fall. This shoulder is still jacked, guys. I hope I don't get some other form of sickness, because this is weakening me. When you can't get your sleep, it seems like at night I can't get a straight, even an hour of sleep. I just keep popping up because I move or something, and this thing, it's like I'm getting zapped. It's really rough. In the day it always gets better, but it's nighttime that messes it up. So hopefully it'll clear up. It's not as bad as it was. I can raise it. So, but it's got to be a ligament stretched. And these are things that can happen to you. Be careful of the slip and falls. I actually do know a fella here. He's not a foreigner, but he's a Filipino older fella. And he when he's walking around his ground, it's all uneven. And instead of leveling it all out, it's kind of messed up and rocky and stuff on his little piece. He wears golf shoes. He wears golf shoes because his bathroom isn't in the house; it's out behind. It's like an old outhouse type thing. And he wears golf shoes so he don't slip and fall. He said he took a fall and was hurt, so that's a good thing. I had a pair of Crocs that were golf shoes, but there was one little old fella that lived around where we used to live. He really wanted them. He had pretty good sized feet for a Filipino, tall fella, and he seen them when I was moving, and he really wanted them. So I said, what the heck? I just give them to him. I got other golf shoes, so I let him have them, and he wore them all the time. But he wore the nubs right out on them. I had some extras. I said, hey, bring it over. I'll get the little tool out and I'll put them back in. But walking on concrete, that ruins them real quick. That's for sure. I've seen guys on the golf course, they walk down the path instead of in the grass, and they're just tearing their golf shoes up. I hope to get back into it, golf, and I'd like to get into bowling, depends on the shoulder. And I need shafts though. I got to get some iron shafts. I was never one to spend a big buck on shafts. They don't do any better. I did for trials for different guys when I was building clubs. It's all a bunch of baloney. I wound up going down to Golf Works, and what's the other one? The big golf store they had in California, and I'd go into the bins and find the $1.80, $2 shafts and just spine them. The way you spine them is you just set up your table with 2 bearings, 1/2-inch bearings or so, a little bit 3/4. You put them in there, and then you have a loose bearing in your hand, and you spin it around, and you find the biggest bend section, and that's the way you spine align it. And then I use those shafts. What happened here? I had the 1-iron golf clubs, and they corroded. They corroded from the inside, and it got to where you swing them and you hit something, you take some turf up, and the dang things would break, and I was afraid of them flying off, so I just de-shafted all of them, and I can't get shafts here. I mean, just a few shafts are super expensive, super expensive here to get. And I would just like to get some regular True Temper shafts. I always liked, when I was in the States though, I had rifle shafts that I put in my clubs. I'd use those 6.5 rifle shafts, straight ones, and had really good luck. When it comes to irons, I've always been able to hit an iron, especially my 2-iron. I had a 1-iron I carried for a while. Didn't really gain me any distance or anything like that, but I had a 2-iron. I could smack that thing on a not even the best hit in the world, was 250, and I had I can't remember, Callaway was the last, I have it here, thing, and I would mark, as soon as I hit, I'd mark where I was standing and walk, and that's how I got what my distances were. But I've had even farther ones than that with the 2-iron. I always was good. I need a 3-wood. I don't have one. And the other club is a real good go-to club is this 5-wood. It was one of my original, my putter and my 5-wood are originals. I got the 5-wood from my brother, and it's just an off-brand one. And I cleaned it up so it was just silver. I got the paint off of it, and I put a little bit of extra weight in it. I got it at like a standard length, and boy, I'll tell you what, I could smack the heck out of that thing and get it to do rights, lefts, high, low, whatever I wanted. And so that's a club that just never came out of my bag. It was a utility club. I did have a 3-wood. A buddy of mine worked at Cobra, where they cast these titanium clubs. And what I did with that one is I filled the bottom of it with lead. Again, I filled the bottom of it with lead pellets, and then I heated up rosin, the glue, basically the glue, and I poured that in because there was no plug in the bottom. I poured that in until it was completely full, and then I stuck my shaft and I made it very short. I made the dang thing. I can't remember the exact inches, but it was short. And that was for getting out of heavy grass or anything like that. It was an offset job. And that was the most fantastic club. I could get out of trouble with that thing, and it just cut through everything. It wasn't finished. It still had like the casting marks. It was a blem that they didn't want. And when I made it heavy like that, my buddies called it the hammer. And I could get out of trouble like you wouldn't believe. And I was at the golf club and I had it in my bag. I was getting ready to leave. I didn't have a locker there. And when I went to the bathroom, just take a quick pee, and I came out, it was gone. And nobody saw a thing. There was people all over because the bathroom was right by the restaurant. And a really good place to eat at this golf club. But that's what happened to that. I definitely want to get back into golf if I can. That's one of my favorite sports. And I've seen when I was golfing, it's one of the sports you can do all the way up until your end. I knew a fellow that was in his 90s still golfing, and the dude could still smack his driver 250. This guy was just really good. He was holding about a 5 handicap at the club I went to. And he was just a great golfer. But I've seen a lot of guys, a lot of old timers, they just get out there with their buddies and they golf, their wives. It's a great sport. Here, it's a lot more expensive though here than in the United States. It's just not. But I would like to teach my kids. I wish I could get components here so I could get them a set. I am really into the 1-iron golf set. And I remember when I golfed years ago, I used to not. Oh, hey guys, the camera told me I was running a little bit long, so I'm going to let you go on this beautiful southern Luzon day. You can see it's probably going to rain today though, and it's just beautiful right now. So I'm going to let you go, and this is Rickshaw out.